They whispered, "She'll never be a mother." They judged her by what she could never have, never imagining that 4 lonely children would one day call her mom with all their hearts. But the greatest miracle wasn't that she found a family. It was how she taught an entire frontier that love, not blood, makes a parent. Stay until the very end, because this unforgettable Wild West story will show how one woman's kindness silenced every cruel voice forever. If stories of hope, family, and second chances touch your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more inspiring frontier stories to life. The frontier town of Cedar Creek was the kind of place where every smile carried a secret and every whispered rumor traveled faster than the morning stagecoach. Eleanor Brooks knew this better than anyone. At 31, she had become the woman people pitied without ever knowing her. Years earlier, a traveling doctor had quietly told her that she would never bear children. She accepted the news with silent grace, but the town never did. Instead, women lowered their voices whenever she walked past the mercantile. "A woman who can't become a mother will always live alone," they murmured. Eleanor never answered. She simply continued helping elderly neighbors, sewing clothes for poor children, delivering fresh bread to sick families, and volunteering wherever kindness was needed. She believed people were measured by what they gave, not by what they lacked. Every evening she returned to her tiny cottage, where silence greeted her more faithfully than any friend. She often wondered why God had placed so much love in her heart with no family to share it with. Yet she refused to let bitterness replace compassion. One autumn afternoon, a widowed rancher named Samuel Carter rode into town with his 4 children. His wife had passed away nearly 2 years earlier, during a harsh winter illness, leaving him to raise 12-year-old Abigail, 10-year-old Luke, 8-year-old Emma, and little 5-year-old Noah alone. Samuel was respected for his honesty, but everyone could see exhaustion in his eyes. Managing a large ranch while raising 4 grieving children had become more than one man could carry. The children wore clean clothes, but their smiles had nearly disappeared. While buying supplies, Noah accidentally dropped a sack of apples into the dusty street. Before anyone reacted, Eleanor hurried forward, gathering each apple with a warm smile. She brushed the dirt away before handing them back to the little boy, who stared at her with surprised eyes. Instead of scolding him, she gently asked if he had been helping his father all morning. Noah nodded shyly. Samuel thanked her politely before leading his children away, but Abigail quietly looked back at the gentle woman whose kindness had asked for nothing in return. During the following weeks their paths crossed again and again. Eleanor bandaged Emma's scraped knee after she fell near the church. She patiently taught Luke how to repair a torn satchel instead of replacing it. She even spent an afternoon helping Abigail choose fabric so she could sew a birthday shirt for Noah. Samuel watched each moment from a distance. Unlike others, she never tried to impress anyone. She simply noticed where love was needed and quietly gave it. Meanwhile, the whispers returned stronger than before. Some townsfolk laughed at the idea of Eleanor spending so much time around children. Others claimed she was trying to win the widowed rancher's sympathy. Samuel ignored every word, but he noticed something no one else did. Whenever Eleanor left, his children smiled longer than they had since their mother's passing. For the first time in years, laughter slowly returned to the Carter Ranch, carried there not by grand promises, but by the quiet footsteps of a woman who had already been judged before anyone truly knew her. Life at the Carter Ranch slowly changed in ways Samuel never expected. Eleanor never tried to replace the children's late mother or force herself into their lives. Instead, she earned their trust through countless small acts of love. She woke before sunrise to prepare warm breakfasts, stitched worn clothes by lantern light, helped Abigail braid her hair before church, patiently taught Luke to read ranch ledgers, comforted Emma after frightening storms, and spent evenings telling little Noah gentle bedtime stories. She never asked the children to call her anything special. She simply loved them without expecting anything in return. As winter approached, the ranch faced its hardest season in years. A fierce snowstorm destroyed fences, scattered cattle, and threatened Samuel's livelihood. Without hesitation, Eleanor worked beside everyone else. She cooked hot meals for exhausted ranch hands, cared for injured animals, and even rode through freezing winds to deliver medicine to an elderly neighbor trapped by snow. The entire valley began speaking of her kindness, yet a few cruel voices still whispered, "She can help children, but she'll never truly be a mother." Those words reached Abigail's ears one afternoon in town. The young girl returned home in tears, angry that people could be so cruel. That evening after supper, all 4 children quietly gathered around Eleanor. Little Noah climbed into her lap and wrapped his tiny arms around her neck. Looking into her eyes, he whispered, "You already feel like our mama." Abigail, Luke, and Emma nodded through their tears. Eleanor could no longer hold back her own tears as she embraced them all. Watching from the doorway, Samuel realized something powerful had happened. No ceremony, no bloodline, and no public approval had created this family. Love had, at that moment. He understood that his children had chosen the mother their hearts had been searching for all along. Spring arrived, bringing green fields and new beginnings to the Carter Ranch. The children laughed again, the home was filled with warmth, and Samuel finally found peace after years of loneliness. During the town's annual harvest celebration, Samuel stood before the entire community and took Eleanor's hand. Looking proudly at the 4 children beside them, he said, "People claimed she could never be a mother. They were wrong. A mother is someone who loves, sacrifices, and stands beside her children every single day." That's exactly who Eleanor is. The children immediately rushed forward. Abigail hugged Eleanor first, followed by Luke, Emma, and little Noah, who smiled through happy tears and called out, "That's our mama." The crowd fell silent. Even those who had once whispered cruel words lowered their heads in shame, realizing they had judged a woman by what she lacked instead of the love she carried in her heart. Years later, travelers passing through Cedar Creek no longer remembered the gossip. They remembered the ranch where 4 children had been raised by the kindest mother they had ever known. A woman who proved that family is not created by blood, but by faithful hearts, daily sacrifice, and unconditional love. Her story became a lesson for the entire valley. The greatest parents are not always those who give life, but those who give love. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who believes kindness can change lives. Until our next Wild West story, thank you for watching.